When you hear the word gamer, what is the first thing to pop into your head? Is it a 40-year-old fat virgin living in his parents' basement? Or a troubled, pimple-faced teenage boy with a gun? Are you thinking of someone with health problems, poor eyesight, and anger issues? As seen on today's television shows and mainstream news, individuals who spend a lot of time playing video games are considered to be overweight losers with no lives and with the potential to become killers. However, contrary to popular belief, playing video games is not a waste of time and money, nor does it lead to violent tendencies. In fact, there are advantages for playing video games, which benefit children, adults, and society as a whole. One benefit for children is the Kinect for the Xbox game console, which utilizes the player's body as a controller. Playing video games like Kinect Sports has the children jumping, moving around, and running in place. Not to mention, it is fun to play. My son especially loves the Olympic-style challenges on Kinect Sports, and I love how it incorporates exercise into a fun video game. Now, you might debate that playing an active video game inside is not the same as running around outside. However, if you think about it, they are exerting the same amount of energy and using the same muscles, without getting grass stains on their clothes. And from a mother's point of view, that is great. For over 2 decades now, there has been a debate on whether playing violent video games correlates to violent acts. In an article by Max Fisher, he reports there is no correlation between gun violence and violent video games. In fact, while the United States may have the highest murder rate, it does not have the highest numbers in video game sales. The highest number for video game sales is actually in the Netherlands, whose murder rate is significantly lower than the United States. In addition, there have been studies done which show that playing violent video games does not change the behavior of children towards violent acts. In fact, those studies show that there is little or no change in violent tendencies when children are exposed to violent video games. Imagine that. Real research that contradicts the current belief that violent video games cause violent acts. There are studies that have found that playing action video games, such as Medal of Honor, actually helps to improve eyesight. Daphne Maurer, a psychologist and visual development lab director at McMaster University, asserts that playing first-person shooting games changes the balance of excitation and inhibition in the inputs to the neurons in the visual cortex. In her study, she had one group of volunteers with deficits who had shown no improvement prior to the study play a first-person shooter game for about 2 hours a day. After 4 weeks, in which the volunteers accumulated 40 hours of gameplay, they all showed improvement in their post-tests compared to their pre-tests. Prior to this study, it was common belief that the human brain was hardwired in childhood and couldn't be changed later. Yet these patients, who were all adults, showed improvement after playing Medal of Honor. A similar study done by Dr. James Rosser has shown that playing video games can also improve the skills of surgeons. In his research, it was found that the doctors who played a minimum of 3 hours a week were 27% faster and made 37% less mistakes than those who did not play. Imagine that. Video games that can help improve eyesight deficits, coordination, agility, and accuracy. More than just improving eyesight and coordination, there have been studies which have found that playing role-playing games can actually teach and develop scientific skills as well. The studies done at the University of Wisconsin by Dr. Constance Steinkuhler indicate that the intellectual activities that constitute successful gameplay are non-trivial. Dr. Steinkuhler and Duncan studied the forums for the popular online game called World of Warcraft and found that the players used a variety of skills similar to those used by the scientific world. The players with the intent of improving their in-game skills actually developed scientific skills as well. The players did research on their specific character type, they collaborated with other players, and they strategized prior to entering a difficult dungeon or attacking a high-level boss. Imagine a scientist in front of a blank whiteboard. Or, if you ever watched the show The Big Bang Theory, imagine Dr. Sheldon Cooper writing mathematical equations attempting to solve something scientific. Now imagine a regular individual in the place of that scientist, still writing mathematical equations, but attempting to come up with the best skill, armor, and potion combination for their main character to get the most damage. Now imagine that same scientist in a room filled with other scientists, passing around their scientific findings, which is building on their collective knowledge and data toward some scientific goal to better the world. That is the same way that players interact in the forums when they share their previous experience in certain areas of the game with others. I play another online game similar to World of Warcraft, and I have learned from my guild the best combination of skills and armor so that my character is more useful to the guild when we do dungeons. To a guild, nothing is worse than the player who knows nothing about their character's abilities, makes no attempt to be useful to the guild, and must constantly be revived throughout the game. In short, for the scientific community, what good is a scientist who knows nothing about their subject and makes no attempt to contribute useful information to their field of study? Now some individuals might ask how this helps in the real world of science. Well, one way in which gaming has significantly helped the scientific community is through the online puzzle game Folded. In 2011, a group of scientists posted a molecular structure of a protein cutting enzyme, which could lead to a cure for AIDS. A group of players, who call themselves the Contender Group, solved it in just 10 days, even though it had befuddled experts for over a decade. Imagine that! A video game that helped to solve a real-life scientific puzzle. In conclusion, there are more benefits for playing video games than most people imagine. Hence, individuals who spend hours playing a video game are not wasting time, but improving a variety of skills. Imagine that! Actual studies that present a contrasting view on gaming stereotypes. So why not log on and play Call of Duty or Star Wars The Old Republic? It is doctor approved. And help break those negative stereotypes. And remember, like the saying goes,
an apple a day keeps the doctor away, but a few hours of play has the doctors okay.